Hello. All right, how are you, Candace?
Well, good morning. We welcome you here. We're here to protect clean energy and create new jobs in Arkansas, to protect the earth that we're blessed to live on. So we're glad that you've joined us at this renewable energy rally. I'm Stephen Copley. I am the chair of Arkansas Interfaith Power and Light. And as I said, we're very, very glad that you're here. These are very important issues. These are issues of critical importance to all our lives, and in a minute we have a couple of speakers who will come and talk to us about some facets of renewable energy. But let's begin. You have in your hand a litany for healing, and I'm going to ask that you join us. I will read the lines in regular type, if you'll join where it says response with the words in the bold type. A litany for healing. Let all creation praise. To bring new life to the land, to restore the waters, to refresh the air.
To join the earth and with each other.
To renew the forest, to care for the plants, to protect the creatures.
We join with the earth and with each other.
To celebrate the seas, to rejoice in the sunlight, to sing the song of stars.
We join with the earth and with each other.
To recall our destiny, to renew our spirits, to reinvigorate our bodies.
We join with the earth and with each other.
To recreate the human community, to promote justice and peace, to remember our children.
We join with the earth and with each other.
We join together as many and diverse expressions of one loving mystery for the healing of the earth and the renewal of all life. I now ask Frank Kelly with the Arkansas Renewable Energy Association to come forward. Frank.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with us. I just wanted to kind of update you on what happened yesterday and what we hope will be going on next week. There was a bill that made it out of the Joint Energy Committee yesterday that had an amendment added to it 30 minutes before the meeting. So the only people that got to see the amendment were the committee members who were in attendance. And what that amendment did to a bill that we initially were supportive of is to put the task back to the Public Service Commission to determine a charge or a fee that should be assessed against net metering customers. So the utility has convinced these legislators that the net metering customers are freeloaders on the electric grid. And as a matter of fact, we're not. There is no cost associated with them allowing us to connect to the grid. There are substantial benefits associated with renewable energy, and I'm going to just cover a few of them, which hopefully our Public Service Commission would, when they do their study, instead of determining that they need to assess a charge, they will actually improve the contract for net metering. So one thing about distributed generation, it's created on site, and so it's consumed immediately. And if it's not consumed on that particular building, it goes to the building next door. So the energy doesn't go all around town and back to substations and across the grid. It flows to the next user. By promoting renewable energy, we have the potential to postpone or even eliminate the construction of new fossil fuel or nuclear facilities. Renewable energy relieves stress on the electric grid. Solar in particular creates energy when it's needed the most, and as I mentioned in my remarks yesterday, that we're making power at the peak point in the day when the electric utilities are sometimes forced to buy electricity at 6 times what they're charging a normal customer. And then last but not least, but an aspect that is routinely dismissed, are the environmental benefits of renewable energy. That's a problem that the utilities have, is they are not counting all the beams. They're saying that coal is cheap, cheap, cheap. Well, that's because they're not counting the true cost of generating with coal. Now, moving on to next week, Monday morning, 10 o'clock. Well, let me back up. House Bill 1004, and I have it on a handout over here. That's the bill that is now moving to a vote on the House and Senate floors. So it made it out of the Joint Energy yesterday. It may be voted on within the next day or two. So any calls to or contact with legislators to say 1004 does not promote renewable energy, it discourages it. So please vote against 1004. Now, on to next week. House Bill 1885 will be coming in front of the Joint Energy Committee, and that is a bill we absolutely do support, which is called the Distributed Generation Act. And it, if we look back at what net metering has done since 2002, there's been around 320 systems installed in Arkansas as a result of net metering. We should have 32,000 or 320,000, not 320. That's peanuts. That net metering is not getting the job done. But House Bill 1885 will ramp renewable energy policy up to where it needs to be. This is our fourth session to try and get this type of legislation passed. So third time wasn't the charm, but hopefully the fourth time will be. And I'm going to turn it over to Bill for final comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Most of y'all know who I am. I'm the guy in the bright pink shirt. My name's Bill Ball. I was the original author of our net metering bill, and I think we need net metering, and we certainly don't want to do away with net metering. But as Frank alluded to, we need to do something in addition. And I'm reminded as I hold my phone here of when I was a young man, a boy at home. We had one of those rotary dial telephones, and we didn't own the phone. If we moved, that phone went back to Bell Telephone, and we got a new phone when we moved to the next place. And along 1966, there was a historic decision, a Supreme Court decision. It's called the Carter Phone decision. And it allowed a company that made an answering machine that wasn't made by Ma Bell to hook up their answering machine to Ma Bell's lines. That's not unlike net metering in Arkansas. When we got the bill passed in 2001, we were finally able to hook up our energy producing equipment to the utility lines. If we had stopped in 1966 with being able to just hook up a device or an answering machine to the lines, we wouldn't have had AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile. So the next step is to say, okay, besides being able to hook to your lines, why can't we build power plants? Why can't we compete against your power plants on a level playing field? And what 1885 attempts to do is to level that field just a little bit. Now, we are in discussions with the Public Service Commission right now. The bill as we know it today is probably going to be undergoing some changes. We hope that we're going to be able to arrive at some amendments that will still keep the essence of what we're trying to do here out there, so that private business, private individuals, agriculture, industry can put in their own renewable energy power plants and sell that back to the grid, and the utilities would buy that power just like they're buying it from a coal plant or a nuclear plant or a natural gas plant. They would be reimbursed for that purchase just like they are if they buy energy from a coal plant or a natural gas plant. The beauty of 1885 is it's a public policy that fits a business model. And we've worked for 4 long sessions to perfect that language, and we really need to push hard because it's not going to be easy. Thank you very much.
Letters to sign. Letters to sign.
thanks everybody for coming. And before you go, if you haven't signed a letter to support House Bill 1885, we have copies up here for you to sign. And please provide your name, address, and phone number so that the members of the Joint Energy Committee will know that you really are people who live and vote in Arkansas. Thank you so much.
If you're, one thing I forgot to mention is there's an app out called Lobby Up. So if you have smartphones, you can go to the App Store, search for Lobby Up. It's got hot links to phone numbers and emails of every legislator in Arkansas. If you're more paper inclined, I prepared an Excel spreadsheet. You can sit down and use your pen and paper and make those contacts too. So either way, with your electronic or paper, we got you covered.
I haven't, but I'm actually going in May with Living Water for the World. Virginia, the team that does it.
You love it? I'm so glad you do.
He's having the most amazing year. I'm so envious.
Everything except go to Eco.
And one reason this is renewable energy,
You know what?
I want to be done shortly after I get there. I don't want to waste time.
I've got a clipping for you when he was in the paper.
And it's so funny that she's in volunteer. She always goes in on Friday and volunteers in the garden. And she couldn't make it because we had the gratitude food stuff.
And there was the second time that happened. You can interview.
Well, David took pictures of me and I was like, they're her go.
He's a master of publicity.
I've never been maybe on the southwest coast. I got a little car, so we're going to land in Shannon in 3 hours. I need a car I'm not going to hang up on you. I got to put you on speakerphone. Are you there? We're going to get more. Learn to surf now. Okay. Now. Anytime. You like my little shrimp catcher? Yeah, he walks by my head.
Yeah, sorry. I think we just saw that. I think maybe you sent it to me. Did I ask you to send me? Send me your very best picture. Oh, well, send that to me too, so I can use it next time. Hey, thank you so much. How's it going?
Let me do this without hanging up on you this time.
Yeah, I think you told me.
You still there?
I worked really, really hard to get the engineering degree. No, I was not. No, just that would just be really. That would be a whole lot of work. You know, like I had friends who were engineering majors. That'd be a whole lot of work to put in, and then just decide this. It's not like a law degree where it's versatile for other things. Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
I'll around and see if I can find
Yeah, I mean, I think just living here and probably knows some shit. But it's like, really worthwhile to set I don't know how
Oh my gosh, I don't have any time to go off sleep.
Oh, in the meeting here? Yeah, I was here. I thought you were.
when I get out.
It works both ways. No, they don't, because man, the trial is this big, huge expense.
Yeah, it's
and that is the thing. But it is like if you want to, like, what they advise people to do.
I spent 30 hours
For all any of this was so like the energy.
Would you like to sign the letter? Okay. Some purple, some And my name is Sean. Ryan? Jamie. Okay, good to see you.
I mean, I have always thought there's no way that we'll be able to do that without a study being done. Like, and I'm really fine to do a little things.
Then it'll go back.
I mean, but I think that's fair. Like, yeah, let's see
If it gets out of ready.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, I'm fine with being there after.
Okay, yeah, can we do this, please?
Yeah. That's what it is. I'm gonna let him do my work for me. They have no idea. I'm just gonna sit here and you can do what they sent me. So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head back. Yeah, thanks.
We're not asking you for anything.
Excuse me, always good to see y'all.
Just like I do in my house. That's all.
Thank you. I just hope that
Very efficient.
It turned out to be I'm not sure. I couldn't see the number because of the glare. I was like, I better take this just in case it's somebody that I actually. So you would set it's usually somebody that knows somebody. Studying for bar. And right now I don't have any job. I cannot afford to give them any money. I know we just asked you for $200, but could you maybe spare $100? And I was like, what part of I don't have a job and not understand? What they do is they care. It's so awful. It's like, do you prefer your neoliberal corporatism straight, or do you like it with the trappings of socialism? I don't like neoliberal corporatism at all. Well, then you're in the wrong country. There's no place to hide. Canada used to be the only place, but it's the dominant. We're over in when you come in the campus, first building on the right, McDonald's, 50 years.
So that'll work pretty well.
Good.
How you doing, Caleb?
First, I gotta go finish that iPad. I guess crazy.
Caleb, good to see you.
Yeah, I know, Joe. You got a line. I just sent you. Oh, okay. Yeah. As soon as I get that controller, we'll bring it over today. Thanks for coming by. Alex looks at the Oak Cliff Eco Center.
This surveillance.
It's an immune system, but
Would you sign a letter? Sure. Okay, some of them
Jason, you can and this was I've been out here 2-3 days. They never answered. They didn't do a roll call.
If we get through there,
had a sweater in the car. Actually hot out here.
sometime the day after, it could be just a few days later. It's usually fairly. I think it is. Next is, well, it's the House bill, but we also have a Senate speech.
But it can be amended in the Senate.
So it's HB.
Has it been through both houses? Has it been through both houses? Oh, that was good.
Well,
See ya.